My name is Jeanette, and I am a high vibrational being. And I'm here to deliver a message to the collective. Hope you all are having a blessed day, spreading love. I just wanted to share a few things that I've been experiencing and my perceptions of things on this channel. And I want to start with this prayer, the great invocation. From the point of light within the mind of God, let light stream forth into the minds of men. Let light descend on earth. From the point of love within the heart of God, let love stream forth into the hearts of men. May Christ return to earth. From the center where the will of God is known, let purpose guide the little wills of men, the purpose which the masters know and serve. From the center which we call the race of men, let the plan of love and light work out, and may it seal the door from evil dwells. We put that invocation out into the universe, always for the highest good of all, bringing love into the minds of all men and to the earth. I am sharing my journey with the collective. I keep ascending to my highest level of consciousness. I am always being guided to reveal the teachings and the learnings that I've been guided to research. And my understanding at this time is that the Ascended Masters are here on earth in human forms, and they are also spiritually helping those who keep ascending to the highest level of consciousness and also calling upon them for help. These Ascended Masters, their names are Sanat Kumara, Paul the Venetian, Master Buddha, Serapis Bey. These are the Ascended Masters that are currently helping humanity, our planet, whether you are aware of it or not. They are here. El Moria is also present. Hilarion is also present on this planet. These Ascended Masters are in human form, like I said, and they are also in spirit guiding those on our planet. Kazumi is also another of the Ascended Masters. Saint Germain is also present. Dua Ku is also another one of the Ascended Masters. Master Jesus is also one of the Ascended Masters here guiding the collective to reach the level of consciousness that they need to reach at this time to ascend to a higher level of whom they truly are. I have been doing a lot of research, and the Ascended Masters, I work with them because I am always guided to connect with them. At this moment where there is so much happening on our earth, there's a big transformation, there's a big ascension happening in this earth. There's a lot of fears being placed on humanity through the media, through YouTube channels, through spiritual leaders who are not really guiding the guiding humanity through the space of love and compassion and understanding, and to go within their own selves and reach within their hearts, be still, and really get the guidance from the Creator Source God who is within you. Stop listening to those people who are sending out those negative energies into your minds, into your thoughts, into your life, into your food, into your water. Remain still. Really go within and ask yourself, is this really what I am experiencing? And always send out so much love and prayer, because through prayer and through our healing, we are doing so much to the planet and those around us. I have been in a very, very spiritual reset in my current life at this moment. I have been staying a lot in hermit mode because I need more channeled messages from the spiritual realm in order to provide to humanity the truth. Through my stillness, through my healing, I am able to deliver so much love and compassion to those who are experiencing so much at this moment. So I've been guided to stay home, to connect to my higher self, clear any clutter, and organize things around my space. This was on July 26, 2026. I was guided to read and write and create art. I organized some of the art supplies that I have that helped me create beautiful artwork. I am also called to read on ancient ancestors, especially the Divine Feminine, because we have been silenced for such a long time. There's no more hiding of ourselves. We are here to share our stories without being silenced or threatened. I am very thankful and grateful for a message that I received. She channeled Ascended Master Kuan Yin and Ascended Master Mary, who is Jeshua's kingdom spouse, the twin flame. The message shared was to speak our truth and stand in our power and come from a space of love. Jeshua is the Lion of Judah. To be 100% aligned with the moment, let go of the chaos. Being in the stillness is such a beauty, to just be able to breathe, hear your heart, hear your heartbeat, which is the heartbeat of Mother Gaia. Know that you are never alone. Connect to that divine energy that is within you. And be gentle with yourself. Whatever you are creating in your mind, that is your reality. Whatever you're creating, being still helps you balance your light and dark, which is your yin and your yang. The divine feminine, the divine masculine energy. Love is your peace. Forgiveness is your peace. Kindness is your peace. Joy is your peace. Be in a sacred space to bring out the greatest gift you can give yourself. That gift is self-love. For self and universal love for humanity. Know that you are never alone. Always call upon us, your ascended masters, for guidance. We love you, beloved. Be in your stillness and just breathe. I am guided by God and my spiritual team. I have been guided to fast for 25 to 30 days. This is not for everyone. This is my doing. This is what I've been guided to do. And I just say it has been a challenge. You know, because food is all over, you know, and there's always temptations, right? But I always call upon the ascended masters to always guide me, and I sit in the stillness of the energy, and I breathe through it, and I balance. I have been doing a lot of research. I wrote down at 5:21 p.m. I am hearing women will not be silenced anymore. We will speak with so much empathy, transparency, kindness, authenticity, and unconditional love. We divine feminines are in our sovereignty. We will make our own decisions on how we will care for our minds, our bodies, and our souls. They that have silenced our ancestors in the past, kept their secrets in locked chambers, understand we have risen, and we will share with the collective all of our stories on how to heal through herbs, trees, natural medicines, and vibrations and frequencies. No more allowing systems, ideologies, culture, religion to dictate to us our values. We are here and we are all connected. Each and every one of us. You have the choice to surrender and come back home to your divinity. Man, woman, children will all experience this energy and are creating this new world. The Divine Feminine, Ascended Master Mary Magdalene, Ascended Master Kuan Yin, and Lady Nadas, who guide humanity, teach love, healing, and peace. They are here to help you on your journey now. All you have to do is connect with them. Their stories have been hidden, but no more. Ascended Master Mary Magdalene is Ascended Master Joshua, twin flame, divine partner, which her story was not truthful in the Bible. Kuan Yin is the Ascended Master of mercy and compassion and healing. Mother Mary represents unconditional love, pure devotion, and comfort. Mary Magdalene teaches deep spiritual truth, devotion, and the path of the heart. Lady Portia, the master of justice, balance, and freedom, using the violet flame. They are here to teach us to go into our thoughts, into our hearts, release all the pain, suffering, limited beliefs, and forgive all whom wronged you, hurt you, betrayed you, because the only way to the kingdom of God is by opening your heart. Heal from the lessons that brought you pain into your heart. Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene, Kuan Yin, Lady Nada are here waiting to guide you into your divine heart to find peace, love, and compassion for yourselves and all your brothers and sisters. Oh, then at 5:50 p.m. that same afternoon, I call upon. I call myself Dora the Explorer because I'm always on a journey. My journey this time is to cleanse my body back into its purity. No toxins, just resetting. And to continue to get closer to my Divine Father, Mother, and my entire spiritual team. Always for the highest good of all. So I started my day 4th, it was July 30th, 2026, with prayer and strength, the Buddha teaching, the Joshua teaching of mind and being balanced and not giving in to temptation is helping me through this process. This morning, I was walking. I hear a raven, very loud. My spirit animal was trying to get my attention. I saw this black raven on the right side of the street on top of a tree. I telepathically spoke to this raven that is always around. I also heard a blue jay on the left side of the street where I was walking. These spirit animals are very connected to me. And I always get the message. Tree symbol is a symbol of grounding, ancient wisdom, and growth in the earth. The tree anchors the raven's spiritual message into the physical plan. The right side, moving forward, means transformation. The message from any spiritual team. I am on the right path. They are telling me that I am on the right path. When I heard this raven, I was smiling along, no thoughts, just enjoying the elements like always. The weather was very good, cloudy, light, showered, humid. I did see dark clouds. The clouds, on one side I saw half dark clouds, and the other side I saw clouds that was light. The clouds that was a message, I believe, that was dark. There is a lot of hidden secrets coming to the light. The shadows cannot be hidden anymore. It is the yin and yang that's bringing the balance that is being played out within the individuals and into our Because whatever is happening to us is also happening to the planet, to systems, to everything. We are connected to everything as the collective in our planet. Divine feminine, divine masculine energy being balanced, and it's beautiful. I have learned and continue to learn not to let outside distractions take me off of my path. Learn learn how not to be distracted. Embrace what the world is experiencing. I'm sorry. Take you off your path. Embrace what the world is experiencing. It's very hard labor for Mother Gaia and all who are shedding their old skin. It's a rebirth that is happening, and we are all actors and actresses in this grand play called life. Earth School is the most toughest school to graduate, but know that you can do it. The heart is needed to be healed within self. Heart coherence, your sovereignty, and your peace is needed to help our planet. Day 5 of my fasting. Feeling very good. I'm very grateful. This was July 31st. It's a Friday. And I will enjoy and stay faithful to my spiritual journey. I received a book called The Complete Ascension Manual, How to Achieve Ascension in This Lifetime by Joshua Stone. It writes on page 4, the Polarian and the Hyborians are often referred to as the pre-Lomarian root race, which is also how the Tibetan foundations has referred them. This is because the first two races were not completely physical as we understand physicality. So this earth, there were two sets of beings that came, not in physical form. They were called the Polarians and the Hyborians. The Polarian root race, which was the first race, which in nature completely are etherical, amorphous, and giant astrals. This entity is made of pure etheric matter. The location inhabited the imperishable sacred land centered of the North Pole. This was when the planet was nothing but ice, and the North Pole was the beginning of humanity coming into existence. The Hyborian root race was the second race. In nature, they were semi-astral and slightly denser than the Polarians, yet still larger, non-physical, and golden yellow in hue. Location, they lived on the shifting continent of Hyboria, encompassing north regions like modern-day North Canada, Greenland, and Iceland. The way they reproduce was through a budding or a sweat-borne process, not in as we humans do in having a child. Evolution began developing, they began developing the first rudimentary outlines of their physical forms and skin and the sense of touch. Polarian and Hyborians are basically immortals. They were totally sexless and multiplied by fusion of budding. They were called the archetypal race. Their bodies were basically gases in nature. Dual-Cool, who is the Ascended Master, who is here currently, and the Tibetan Foundation have often called these two races pre-Lemurians because they weren't totally physical. As members of the Lemurians or third root race were human beings, as we know them, began with this third root race. When human life first manifested on Earth, these two human root race, the only dry land was the North Pole. The rest of the Earth was water. So when human life first manifested on Earth, in these two root races, the only dry land was the North Pole. The rest of the Earth was, the planet was water. Atlantis was very technological advanced, but much less spiritually advanced, much like the United States is today. As a matter of fact, many of the same souls who live in Atlantis are reincarnated here and living in the United States today. The Great Catalysm destroyed most of the dinosaurs because of land and transformation and the change in climate conditions. Atlantis being now the prime civilization on the planet began to thrive. It was during this period that extraterrestrials visited Atlantis and introduced them to advanced crystal technology. The Atlanteans used crystal energy to run almost every aspect of society. They had one great crystal, which was the major energy source for the entire continent. Could you imagine that? A crystal that is being used to provide source energy to a whole continent. It ran cars, ships, submarines, and airplanes, providing all the energy needs of society's science was more and more becoming the new God, and people became less and less interested in the presence of God. This is where humans started to forget who they were. In the beginning, God created sons and daughters in the spiritual state. He created what are esoterically called monads, that has been called the I Am presence. I am a monad. That was the first core intelligence and our first individualized identity. That's who we are. We are the I am present. We are esoterically called monads. This is something that they don't teach you. This is something that has been hidden. This is something that we need to go back to and understand how we came to be here as this human form and how to go back into our true self. That was the first core intelligence and our first individualized identity. This divine spark, also called spirit, it is also called spirit. We are spirits in human form. This is our true identity. The monad or spirit spark divided with its free choice that it wanted to experience a denser free choice, that it wanted to experience a denser form of the material universe that it was living in. Monad has also referred to itself the subconscious, the super subconsciousness, mind, and the higher mind. Each of us has 12 in our soul group and 144 in our monad. Can you understand this? Our higher self, our monad, our spirit, who is referred to as itself, which is the super subconsciousness mind and the higher mind. Each of us, one person, one of us, have 12 in our soul group. And in that soul group of 12, it becomes 144 of our monad group. So we are multi-dimensional beings separating ourselves. The 7 planes of our solar systems, which is the physical plane, which is the very densest level of whom we are. The astral plane, which is the emotional plane. The mental plane. The Buddhic, which is our intuition plane. The atomic or spiritual plane, the Modak plane. These are levels of consciousness that we have to return back to. Learn who we are. Understand the nature of where we came from. We came from this divine source energy that multiplied itself billions of, I don't know how many humans are here and how many spiritual, it's endless. Self-actualization at the monad or spiritual level, this does not fully occur until the 5th and 6th initiation. We are being initiated. We are at this moment of life that we are going through initiations. Returning back to self. Returning back to source, God. People at this level of self-actualizations are masters of wisdoms and lords of compassion. They now merge with the monad and the I am presence. They become one with the monad spirit on earth. They must become ascended masters, completely limitless, and free of all planetary karma, truly self-realized beings. Do you know the power that you hold? Do you know the beauty that you are? Do you know the divine spiritual energy that you are? Do you know what you're capable of? The 3 stages of the spiritual path. The hole of ignorance. Sorry, I need water. Water, 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 water. Thank you, Father, for this blessing. Bless this water. I had to take a break. I'm sorry. Water. And pray over my water every single time. The whole of learning. Restlessness. A lot of people are very restless. They have no knowledge of who they are and their soul. The whole of wisdom. Realization, expansion of consciousness, and identification with the spiritual self. Spiritual aspirants, upon entering the path of probation, are in the stage of the whole of learning. Upon taking the first initiation, they move into the whole of wisdom. Lord Lord Maitreya, the head of the spiritual hierarchy, is the Hierophant. The physical body is now made of 100% atomic matter. The initiate who passes the 4th initiation is referred to as an Arhat. There is no pain or suffering for the master who has attained liberation. An Arhat is a perfected person in Buddha who has reached spiritual enlightenment, achieved nirvana, and freed themselves from all greed, all anger, and ignorance. In meditation, it is important to say, I call forth a special ascension blessing and acceleration from Ascended Master Joshua. And there are several ways of calling the Ascended Masters. If you want to learn, order the book, go read the book. It's a very, the book, I have not stopped reading it since I got it. It just opens me up to even more understanding of who we are on this planet, ascending to a higher level of consciousness, the connections we have to our higher self, which is the Ascended Masters and other high beings on this planet doing the work to help ascend ourselves and be teachers to those who want to learn. The monad works through the threefold vehicle, which is made up of the spiritual will, intuition, and higher mind. Day 6 of my fasting, I always write something. And I will write down words of power, repeating the names of God. Words of power and mantras is very important to your spiritual development as development on God's realization. Know that you are a God, the lowercase g. Know the power that you hold. Don't let anybody tell you any different. You're not the big God, you're the lowercase God. You are a speck image of the Creator. There are 13 specific words or phases. These 13 words or phases of power are the soul or monad mantras. I am the soul. I am the light. I am divine light. I am love. I am will. I am fixed designed. Elohim. Om Mani Padme Hum. I am. I am that I am. I am God. I am love. I love. Adani. Soham. El Shaddai. Yahweh. Ram. Yad Ha. Vad Ha, which is Divine Father. The idea of this mantra is to visualize a cord of light extending from the personality up through the soul of the monad. One can actually visualize this cord as being as wide as the circumference of one's head or smaller. In the beginning, if one chooses, the disciple should attune himself to this Antakarana, visualize in his mind the eye with full extension, with full intentions and willpower. Repeat the word out loud. Say I am will out loud. Say I am God out loud. Say I am love out loud. Say Soham, Yahweh, whatever you call your God. Call upon that energy with the intentions that you're connected to this divine being. From the 3 to the 7 times for up to 15 minutes as a type of mantra meditation. After chanting this mantra, one can sit silently in a receptive state and just feel the response from one's soul or monad, depending on which stage one is working on. This is a very simple meditation. However, it is extremely powerful. It is essential to hold one's consciousness steady in the light for the period of time. It may be done for a very short period of time, a number of times a day, as a kind of centering process for yourself. This practice, along with other spiritual practice, will definitely build your Antakarana, the I am monad. On August 2nd, 2026, this is my 7th day. Still obedient, still here, still doing what I'm doing, still in my space. And here I read about the rays of aspects and the rays of attributes. Dujal Kul, in his writing, has divided the seven rays into two categories: the rays of aspects and the rays of attributes. The rays of aspects are: the first ray is the ray of power, will, or purpose. Second ray of love and wisdom. Third ray of active creative intelligence. The fourth ray of harmony through conflict, beauty, or art. The fifth ray of concrete science or knowledge. The sixth ray is the ray of abstract idealism or devotion. The seventh ray is the ray of ceremonial order, magic, rituals, or organization. On the 8th day of my fasting, I woke up again, still doing. I have a jar of copper water, which I drink just once a day. When I'm cold, once a day, I drink copper water, which is good for health. Research it. Not going to talk much about it, but it's very important. And not go forward. I continue to research. The chakras are associated with each ray as well. The crown chakra, which is the ray of will and power. The second chakra is the concrete knowledge. Third eye. Then we have the throat chakra, which is the third ray of active intelligence. The heart chakra, which is the second ray, which is the ray of love and wisdom. The solar plexus is the sixth ray, which is the ray of devotion. And the sacral center, which is the ray number 7, which is the ray of ceremonial and magic. And the base of the spine, it's ray number 4, which is of harmony. The 7 types of people and the main division of humanity are: 1. A person's racial division in other words, his words, is her Lemurian type, or Atlantean type, or Aryan type, rule type, or a Moruvian type. The 12 astrological groups, which are greatly affect a person, focuses in life, whether one is awakened to his individuality, awakened to the soul, or the monadically awakened. This, of course, deals with the person's level of psychological and spiritual development and level of initiation. Whether one is watched from a distance by the hierarchy, because they are watching each and every one of us. They are presently here. They are watching everything that we are doing, because we help them also to ascend to a higher level of consciousness. Their job has not completely, is never finished. It's a never ending. uh, levels of consciousness that these beings or us are able to ascend to. We help them because they are also our our higher self. You may not believe it. It is. Do your own research. Go out and do your own research. Every one of us who are on this spiritual journey, we provide the tools to humanity. It is up to you to do your work. Spiritual hierarchy called the new group of world servers. We are here. We're serving. We're serving humanity. The last categories that determine what type of consciousness is a person has is the main rays type. These are the type of rays full of will and governing capacity, the power type, the love type, the full of love and fusing power, the active type, full of action and manipulating energies. These are the types of consciousness a person has in the 7 main ray types. So if you are the type that has the power, you are full of will and governing capacity. But if you are the love type, you are full of love and fusing power. If you are the active type, you are full of action and manipulating energy. If you are artistic type, you're full of sense of beauty and creative and aspiration energy. The scientific type is full of ideas of cause and results, mathematical, very analytical. The devotee type is full of idealism. The business type is full of organizing power, giving ritualistic ceremonies. The 5 groups of souls, which Dujal in his writing through the Alice Bailey has delineated 5 groups of souls that humanity falls into. Some of the places the soul originated from may surprise you. Lemurian ego, or true earth humanity, the egos that come with Atlantis, the moon chain egos from the moon, egos from other planets, and rare and advanced egos awaiting incarnations. Lord Maitreya, I don't even know how to say that word, I'm sorry, holds a position in the spiritual government known as the Christ. So if you go research Lord Maitrya, you will get this master who governs the Christ consciousness. Lord, there you go. I don't know if you guys ever saw his image or know about him, but he comes in the Buddha form, right? That's him. That's Lord I can't even, I don't know how to say that word, I'm sorry. Sorry, it is what it is. Then, It says the Great Evocations. It was at this time in June 1945 that the Lord Materia released to humanity the prayer called the Great Invocation. This prayer is one of the most powerful prayers that exist in our world today. Its powers is equivalent or even more powerful than the prayer he gave in life, overshadowing Jesus, which we all know as the Lord's Prayer. The using of his prayer will invoke energies that are needed to change the world, and acceleration in the full declaration of the Lord Materia. So, the prayer that we're going to send out and invocate from the point of light within the mind of God, let light stream forth into the minds of men. Let light descend from earth, from the point of love within the heart of God. Let love stream forth into the hearts of men. May Christ return to earth. From the center where the will of God is known, let purpose guide the little wills of men, the purpose which the ascended masters know and serve. From the center, which we call the race of men, let the plan of love and light work out, and may it seal the door where evil dwells. In the name of Lord Materia, we ask of this, especially now, dear Father, with all that is going on this planet, with all that is being put out into the media to put fear in people's hearts, dear Lord, may you center the heart of men. May you find peace. May they find peace and love within their hearts, and know that they are loved. Let light and love and power restore the plan of earth. Let it be, and so it is. There's another teaching of another ascended master. His name is Sai Babas. He is most eloquently states, Sai Babas, do I have him? I believe, is he here? Wait, I do. Sai Babas. I don't think I have this picture, but this is Sai Babas. Oh, I did put something on my, I post something on my channel, and it had to do with Sai Babas. He, very powerful being that lived on this earth, that go research it, okay? And he most eloquently states that there is only one religion, the religion of love. There is only one language, the language of the heart. There is only one race, the race of humanity. There is only one God, and he is the omnipresent. His basic message is that everyone is God, the Christ, the Buddha, the Atama, the eternal self, that all should see themselves in this way. And each person, they meet this way, for how one treats each other meets is how they treat themselves. His definition of God is this: God equals man minus ego. Ego is the illusionary belief in separation, fear, and selfishness. He says that it is our minds that create bondage and our minds that create liberation. Another part of Sai Baba's is hands that help are holier than lips that pray. The idea is that Soham mantra is to say the word so on earth in breath and the word ham on the out breath. The idea of the Soham mantra is to say so in the in breath and ham in the out breath. The word Soham basically means I am God, or I am thyself. Soham, actually the sound of the breath as God, is listening to it. When one goes to sleep at night, the Soham merges into the sound of the Om. Sairam, the repetition of this name or the chanting of this name as a mantra attracts Sai Baba. As Sai Baba avatar, Jesus, according to Edgar Cayce, past lives were Emilius. There's a spy. There is this bug here. Yeah, there you go. And really, it's very distracting. It's like, I don't do bugs. There's no bugs in this house. Just once, don't like me talking about the true God. Okay? Jesus, according to Edgar Cayce's past life, were Emilius. Jesus was Emilius. Jesus was Adam. Jesus was Melchizedek. Jesus was Enoch. Zend, another, or you are Alsalpha, Joshua, Joseph, and Joshua, was overshadowed by a being who currently sits on the Galactic Council named Melchizedek. Do you know Melchizedek? Do you know who he is? Do you guys know who Melchizedek is? That's another version of the Ascended Master, Jesus. It just doesn't stop. It just, we just keep ascending to a higher level of consciousness. Do you know that? Do you know that when you do your work, you release your... This is Melchizedek, okay? Higher learning. So then I continue to go on to the next day. Day 9 of my fasting, prayers, whatever, started. Then my soul is so active right now. I keep hearing these humans have no idea the energies that are around them. These beings are very high vibrational, that have many lives on earth, that have many lives on earth, and are other aspects of other planets. If I write so fast, so I hear if they knew who they truly are, they would take the path of the light. If you know what I know, you all will work from the space of love. But to be honest, many are not ready to ascend to a very high level of consciousness because your reality is connected to the material world and neglect the prime source creator. I spoke about a world that will continue to come into existence when I first woke up from my sleep. I live in this world currently. My reality, my truth, my peace, my space, and no one can ever take that away from me. My space, the world that I live, there is no. The world that I live, there is so much love, compassion, so much peace, and so much joy, so much creativity, so much abundance, so much health, and so much technology. This is my world. And no one looks at anyone separate from self. We all know that the Creator lives within all of us. He breathes through us. He knows our thoughts, knows our wants, our needs, and it's all given to us in divine timing. The education, medical, financial, government, military, business, colleges, and communities will be at a frequency, vibration that is needed to uplift and heal Mother Gaia. During the last few days that I have connected more with God and my spiritual team, I have felt a big shift of energy within my vessel. And those that I am connecting with, I know that the Ascended Masters are very highly present, spiritually and in human form, currently on our planet. You may not understand, or their vessels, they don't look like they when they were here before. Their vessels is changed. They could look like me or you. You just need to learn who you are and understand your purpose on this planet. I know that the Galactic Federation has a strong presence as well. How do I know? Because I feel their vibration and their frequency. Plus, I am very connected to all that is. There are things that are being shown on YouTube, news media, all around to distract you from connecting to your divine self. Many of you are on tarot card readings and listening to people and not doing the work. You're not doing the work. You're putting people down. You're attacking other people that you don't have no idea who they are. You're not coming from a space of love. You are projecting your insecurities on other people. When it's time for you to wake up and know how beautiful you are. We all have very beautiful gifts to share with humanity. Some more than others is because they have lived millions of years of lifetime, of reincarnated here on this planet over and over and over and over and over and over again, learning lessons. They also travel to others' systems, other planets, to learn from them, to bring it to us. We are multidimensional beings. There is no competition within the spiritual realm. There is none at all. There is no material, clothing, or home or car that you could take with you. You cannot ascend to a higher level of consciousness if you don't rebirth to your new self. Let go of things that no longer serve you. When you create this in your mind, you're creating havoc in your life. You're creating pain in your life. You're creating illnesses in your vessel. Do you understand? You're not doing this to anybody else. You're doing it to yourself. Love yourself more and stop projecting your insecurities to others. You're not going to manifest a world of riches when you are in the state of the animal kingdom. You are in this low density level of consciousness when you haven't even reached out of the plant. You haven't even seeded yourself. If you knew the abilities you have, you would be more amazed. We are all reincarnated souls here on earth to learn, grow, and to ascend. You are all beautiful beings of light. Every day I wake up, I am so amazed at what I am guided to learn, how I have grown until this being that has so much love for humanity. I have love for humanity. I have love for our planet. I have love for our animals, the water, the sun, everything that I am provided with. I am so humbly grateful and thankful. The air, earth, especially Mother, Father, God, Prime Source, Creator. There is no separation. We are all in this meat suit, learning lessons to ascend to our Christ consciousness and to realize the illusions we have been put under for eons. This is a very special time on our planet, and the stories we are creating for our future children and our future grandchildren and other beings that are going to reach the transformation of humanity. They're going to see the transformation we have been through. And as we create heaven on earth, I just wanted to read you this. In the beginning, God created sons and daughters in the spirit state. He created what are esoterically called monads, or individualized spiritual sparks of the Creator. It is the monad that has also been called the I Am Presence. That was our first core intelligence and our first individualized identity. The divine spark, also called spirit, is our true identity. The monad, or the spiritual spark, decided within its free choice that it wanted to experience a denser form of the material universe than it's living in. Each of the monads, with the power of its mind, create 12 souls. It is through the monad puts down 12 fingers of fire, and at the end of each finger are 12 individualized souls. Each soul is a smaller and partial representation of its creator, the monad. The soul has also been referred as to the higher self, the superconscious mind, and the higher mind. What we have here so far is that God created infinite numbers of monads or spiritual sparks, and each monad then created 12 souls to experience a denser form of matter than previously experienced. Each soul then desiring to experience an even denser form of the material universe created 12 personalities or souls extensions who incarnated into the densest material universe. We on earth are personalities or souls, extensions of our souls, just as our soul is an extension of a greater consciousness. Our soul, just as our soul is an extension of the greater consciousness, which is our monad. Our monad is the extension of even greater consciousness, which is God, the Godhead, the Father and Mother of all creation. So each of us on earth has a soul family, so to speak, of 11 other soul extension. The 11 other soul extension could be incarnated on earth or on some other planet in God's infinite universe. Our other soul extension could also be incarnated in a physical body at this time, but could be existing on one of the spiritual planes of existence. Our 11 other soul extensions or personalities could be looked at as our immediate soul family, extending this metaphor further, as we often have an extended modanic family. Each of us has 12 in our soul group and 144 in our monadic group. Ascended Master Dujal Kahul has stated that there are 60,000 million monads working through our earthly planetary system. If we multiply the number of souls extensions or personalities involved in the process of reincarnation on this planet, and if you want to continue to read the book, I suggest that you read it. I'm going to read a little bit more. This is a personal story. To make the understanding of the monad, soul, and personality even easier to understand, I would like to share my own experience as how this theory has related to my personal evolution or soul extension. In my research into how this is all related to myself, I found out that of my particular soul group, 4 of my soul extensions were still in incarnation and 8 others were back on their inner plane. Of 4 still in incarnation, I was the only soul extension on earth. One of my soul extensions was a female in the Pleiades, and two others were on planets in this galaxy whose name I had not ever heard of. In respect to one of my 144 soul extensions, 3/4 of them were no longer in incarnation, and 1/4 was still incarnated in the material universe. When one achieves certain levels of initiation, it is a common practice for the soul to begin to call some of its soul extensions back to the spiritual world. The extension could look at as businesses. Let's say that 4 of them were doing well in Los Angeles, Tokyo, Paris, and Brussels, and the other 8 were losing money. A good businessman, a good business person might close down the 8 businesses that weren't doing well and channel all his resources into the 4 businesses that were very active and successful financially. This metaphor is exactly how the soul looks in the 12 extensions. The 12 soul extensions are all working for the evolution of the soul. Just as the 10 fingers on your hands are working your physical body. In my case, 4 of my soul extensions were more active and successful, spiritually speaking, so the other 8 soul extensions have been called back to soul and are channeling their resources into the 4 successful spiritual businesses, so to speak. The same thing is going on in the larger context of one of my 144 soul extensions. All of my 12 souls are at a stage of spiritual evolution and initiation where all resources are being channeled into the successful soul extensions. Just as the fingers of your hands don't complete with one another and all work from the same goal, ideally all soul extensions work for the evolution of the soul and later of the monad. Spiritual levels to this. Okay, there's spiritual levels. To make my personal story a little more interesting, I was told by Ascended Master Dual Kalu that I was an oversoul or a teacher for the spiritual path. I was an oversoul or teacher for the other soul extensions of my spiritual group. Because of my dedication to my spiritual path, my other soul extensions on the inner planes have been greatly helped by my presence and consciousness. At the same time, I heard this. It was news to me because I had no conscious recollections of my contact and involvement with my other soul extensions. A lot of this involvement occurs on the inner planes while we sleep. Dujal Kul also told me that there were some codependency going on. However, I said codependent. I couldn't believe it because I saw myself as one of the least codependent people I had ever met. Dujal told me that I was not codependent with people on earth planes, but rather with my other soul extensions. In other words, I was running their karma through my physical body. Dujal told me that the spiritual hierarchy and Great White Brotherhood wanted me to use this physical body for service and not to run it down by taking on too much karma from my other soul extensions as a service for them. I knew intuitively what he was saying was true. In my zeal for spiritual growth, I had a total knowingness that I had unconsciously been doing this. I immediately told my soul extensions that I loved them, but that the buck stopped here, and that they will have to be charged. They have to be in charge of discharging and releasing their own karma from now on. I set the appropriate boundaries, just as I always do with people on the planes of existence. One last fascinating story that relates to my process and the story of how I met my wife, Terry. About 2 years ago, a friend of mine told me about a long day workshop called Monadic Anchoring. All of the information she had about it was this title. I had always been incredibly intrigued by the concept of monad, but I found it almost impossible to find information about it. When I heard the word monad, I said to myself, I am going to that seminar. Upon arriving at the seminar, I found to my great surprise that Terry was channeling Dujal Kul. Synchronistically, I had just begun reading all of Alice Bailey's books which Dujal wrote. I was very impressed with her channeling, and the workshop had to do with the special process which the Great White Brotherhood was doing in 144 groups around the country of anchoring the monad into the physical body. Wow. This has never been done before and was kind of an experiment which the hierarchy was also doing to see the effect. The workshop was very powerful, and at the end of it, I ended up with Terry and asked her if she would like to do a private channel reading with people. Terry lived in Alabama, and she would be happy to do some readings for me over the phone. To make a long story short, I worked with Terry professionally for a period of time. I was intensely studying the Alice Bailey material, and I would ask Dujal a lot of questions concerning the most advanced material. It was during this time that Terry and I started having dreams about each other, in which we were romantically. We both were not really looking for a relationship. However, the dream kept coming, and we finally decided to check it out. Lo and behold, it was a match made in heaven. Approximately 3 to 4 weeks after our initial super profound bonding, I had a dream one night. In the dream, Dujal Kul was talking to me. He told me that Terry and I come from the same monad. Upon awakening, same soul. Upon awakening from the dream, I was amazed, for that is the way I felt inwardly. It was such a confirmation to get this occult piece of information so clearly. I immediately called Terry in Alabama. We confirmed this fact with Dujal, also through her channeling. We later did some deeper explorations of this, and we were also told that Terry and I were the only soul extensions from our monad on Earth. So in other words, all other 1/4 soul extensions of our 444 were incarnated on other planets. A whole cluster of them, apparently in the Pleiades. So Terry and I were not from the same soul, but from the same monad. Terry is one of my other 144 soul extensions. So we are what might be termed monadic mates. What was also remarkable was that we initially met at the anchoring of the monad workshop. This book is very enlightening, but I want to say thank you to you all. Thank you for being present. Don't let these energies currently want to teach you lessons. They want to see how you would fall into their trap. How would they harness your energy? Don't give anybody your power. Become the sovereign, beautiful being of light. Be at service. And don't dim your light for no one. Always speak truth. I love you all, and I thank you all. Please have a very blessed night. I don't know when it's going to be the next time that I'll be on. I am on this journey to ascend to a very high, I have reached levels of conscious. I have reached the Buddhas. I have reached that. I just continue to ascend and release so much, and connecting to these angelic ascended masters, these beings that are around us. It's very powerful, and it's very, very beautiful. We are never alone. We are always being protected. If you know the spiritual teams that you have that are around you, the angelical teams, there's levels to this. There's really levels to this. I'm like totally amazed at the infinite levels of consciousness that we go through. This is the densest that our spirit manifests itself through on this earth, on this planet. And it's beautiful. It's really beautiful because you have no idea the levels you could reach and the work that you can do to help others. I love you all. I thank you all. And have a blessed night. Continue to raise your vibration, raise your frequency, create from love, create the music you love, create the book that you want, create the art that you want. Let me see. Oh, I did too. I created something. I didn't paint, but I was doing the Buddha. That's my Buddha. My Buddha. It just came naturally. I don't know. Just continue to create your limitless being. Know who you are. I love you. I send you nothing but love. Namaste.